In this sponsored tutorial, we're going to check out the MalCare service and plugin that allows you to clean up malware on your site or your client's sites automatically with a few clicks. The system actually cleans it up for you. So you pay the monthly fee or the yearly fee to have MalCare. I'll show you everything it does. It does more than just malware cleanup. But you pay the fee to them and you have this peace of mind that if there is malware, they will more than likely be able to clean it up. They can't clean up absolutely everything automatically, but then they also have a service where they help you manually if you need that. And there's also a lot going on in the dashboard: backups, firewalls, uptime monitoring, theme and plugin update recommendations, and all kinds of stuff. I'm going to show you all of it in this tutorial. If you have any questions throughout this video, please leave them in the comments down below. I'll try to answer them as best I can. My name is Bjorn Allpass with WP Learning Lab, where we help you get better at WordPress so you can earn more for yourself, for your clients, and for your business. If you like that kind of thing, make sure to click subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any of my videos. And we're getting started right now. Right at this moment, I have access to a hacked site. When I go to this URL, you'll see something funny happen. We're redirected to this URL. It's showing MalCare, my computer's infected with 3 viruses, phishing, blah, 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 blah. We need to install stuff. This is clearly not an Apple website. This is the domain of this website. This is someone who's trying to sell you things. This is quite common for malware. And people who don't really know what they're doing on the internet and don't really understand how stuff works, they'll see these messages, they'll click on Scan Now, and they'll say, oh my goodness, my site's hacked. These guys want 300 or 3,000 or whatever amount of money they want, and they'll fix it for me. Great, please fix it. That's what happens. And here's even a countdown. 3 minutes, 55 seconds remaining before damage is permanent. And that's just not true. That's a big fat lie. Well, it may be true, but this is an attempt to get you to click this button because you're scared. So let's fix that. We're going to fix that using an app called MalCare. To use MalCare, let's get out of Firefox. I don't use it that often. To use MalCare, we head into the website. We have to get to the login page. You can almost always get to the login page of a hacked website. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you have to restore a little bit. I've got a tutorial linked to in the description down below where I show you how to restore when the back end is blank. Sometimes the front end of the site works, but the back end is totally blank. There's no login page. There's no admin. It's all just white space. And that video that I referenced shows you how to fix that. So I'm going to just log into the site with this data right here. That's going to log us in. If you have any questions or comments at all throughout this video, please leave them down below in the comment section. I'll try my best to answer them for you. So we now have WordFence installed. That's great. So let's do a little scan. Does WordFence pick up any malware? Because we're clearly just redirected to a different place. There is malware on this site. 2 issues found in the most recent scan. Let's see what that is. The 2 issues are these plugins. That's it. So if we update those, WordFence is going to say we're clear. So let's update both of these. Let's come back out here, go back to WordFence. Now we have no notifications. We had access blocked just a moment ago, and that's fine. So WordFence, which is a very popular plugin for security for WordPress, is not showing any malware on the site, which is a problem. And they definitely would show that there is malware or tell you that if there is, or if they detect it, because that's a great selling point. They want you to upgrade to the Pro version so they can stay in their business, and saying there's malware and we can fix it for you if you upgrade, that's a big selling point. So if they did detect malware, they'd definitely be showing it here. They did not detect it on this site. MalCare did. So now we're going to install the MalCare plugin on this site, and we're going to clean up the site, hands-free, hopefully, fingers crossed. MalCare says they can clean up sites for you, which would be awesome because they're super cheap compared to an actual hack cleanup service where you're spending $200, $500 to clean up a hacked site. This is only $100 a year for one site. We'll get into that later. So here I'm logged into the account. Let's click on Add New Site. Let's put our URL in here. Next step. We can manually install the plugin, or we can do it automatically. Just have to enter our username and password. I'm just going to do it automatically. Install plugin. Now our plugin has been installed, not ours. The MalCare plugin has been installed, and we're going to sync our database, our files, and scan the site. And fingers crossed, hopefully it detects that malware that we saw earlier with that redirect. I'm just going to fast forward while it does this. There we go. It's all done. And we found hacked files. WordPress did not find these. There's a hack found, malicious content, hacked file found. So I'm going to click on view hacked files to see what the file is. /b.php. That's actually a pretty common hacked file type of name. They usually don't say, hey, I'm a hacked file.php for the file name. It's usually something nondescript. B is kind of, b.php is kind of a red flag because no developer names their files that way. So it's probably not a standard WordPress file, but that's still a more deceptive file name than say just a bunch of random characters. I'm going to click on clean my site. Then I'm going to enter my FTP credentials. If you don't know where to get these, I'll show you where to get these at the end of the video. Let's just walk through how this works first. Then I'll show you where to get your FTP logins. Once you have your FTP data input, click on continue. And now it wants us to give it a folder to scan. If we go into our public folder, this is usually where our websites live. I'm just going to click on public. I just open it so you can see the folder contents. And that b.php is right here inside of our public HTML. I'm going to click on continue after selecting the public folder. It has gone ahead and fetched our database details from the WP config file, so we don't have to enter anything here. Click on continue. Now it's also going to scan our database. It's going to fast forward as this cleans, and hopefully it's going to come back and say we successfully cleaned up your site, no longer hacked. Done already. That was pretty quick. Let's view the report. So this file is deleted. That's good. Let's click on return to site details page. And we see our site is listed as active, and there is no more security threat on the site. So the plugin was able to remove the malware automatically without any intervention from us. Sometimes there is more complex malware, and then you can contact MalCare support directly through this site, through this dashboard, and then they can help you clear that up. There is a charge for that, but that is also a possibility if the malware is more complex. This site, you recognize the URL is a bit different. So I had the guys over at MalCare add this site to my dashboard because I'm only allowed to have one site on my account. So I had them add this site to my dashboard and had them add some data to the account or to the site so that we can see data for the firewall and for other things. If I click into this, we see our management dashboard. You can see everything's laid out very nicely. It's super easy to use. And the firewall specifically is where we had some data added by the MalCare team so we can see what that actually looks like, because I just added this plugin to that other site just a moment ago. So there's no data in there because we did that just now. And this will allow us to see what it looks like when there is some data. So this site that we have set up here, it's not the same site we just did, like I said, but it's very similar. It's a WordPress site. It's very rudimentary. This is what it looks like right here. Just a vanilla install. And right now there's 23 backups, and the backups are stored inside of MalCare or on their servers or on Amazon servers, wherever it is that they store their backups. If you click on the backups card, you can see all kinds of information about your backups. 23 in total, last done 1 day ago. Frequency is 1 day. Size, 75 megabytes. Number of files, number of tables in the database, all the days that the backups were made, and how many were ignored. So it looks like 8 files are ignored, or it could be tables as well, 2,521 synced. And then if we ignore complete backups, we would have an orange bar, but they're all synced. No files have been updated, so this shows version control. So if a file is updated by you or by someone else, say malware, it would show in here as that file having been changed. And then if you don't recognize that change, you might want to look into it. But that can also be a double-edged sword because quite often plugins and themes change files, and that's just how they work. So not everything that appears in the changed or updated files section is bad. You kind of have to know what you're looking for. And luckily, MalCare knows what it's looking for, so it does the scans for you, but just wants to make you aware of updated or changed files. And if you update your plan, you can get real-time backup stats. If I click here, you see I've only got I don't know what the plan's called, but I have to upgrade to a different plan, and I can upgrade that. If we head back out to our dashboard, under security, let's click into here. It shows everything to do with our site security. It shows that this site is currently clean, no malware detected. This many files, this many tables, the same as a moment ago. It shows that there's some plugins that are outdated. It shows we could do some hardening by clicking apply hardening. So let's do that. And it goes to this page here. So the security is broken into 3 tiers: essentials, advanced, and paranoid. They're represented by 3 rows down below. The first one is essentials. This row is advanced, and this row is paranoid. And the paranoid row, for example, would apply everything on the page, not just what's in its row, but you apply your row that you choose and everything above it. The essentials is just these two things at the top. Block PHP execution untrusted folders, that's a great thing to do. And disable the file editor inside WordPress, also a great thing to do. And doing those two things doesn't adversely affect the use of your site. However, when you go to advanced, we have some warnings here. The advanced security blocks installing and upgrading of plugins and themes and the WordPress core. That can be very important for preventing malware and preventing other entities, other people from installing things on your site. Enabling this will increase security, but it can also decrease usability. So keep that in mind. And for the paranoid, we change the security keys and reset all passwords. The security keys are the salts inside of the WP config file. You can edit those manually whenever you want. When you do that and you save the WP config file, everybody who's currently logged in will be logged out. They have to log in again. And if you reset passwords, all the passwords are reset for all the users on your site. Admins, subscribers, members in your membership site, whatever it is, whatever kind of user there is on your site, all those users will have their passwords reset. So you definitely want to email everyone before you do this kind of thing, and make sure you have some customer support time available, because there will be people emailing you asking for help resetting their password. Let's head back to our dashboard. Let's go into the firewall. It takes us back to the exact same place. This is the security tab. We click on hardening and left this page, so we didn't see the rest. The rest is the firewall and traffic on your site, things like that. So traffic requests. This is why I installed this site. I had it sit for a little bit to get some data in here. So we have traffic coming to this site. It's all good traffic. It's all been allowed. It's all green. None's been bypassed. None's been blocked. Let's click on show more. And it shows where the traffic is from. This is me right here, Canada, 8 minutes ago. And the others are all data that the MalCare team put in there for us. And it shows the response code. 200 means the page loaded. The status was allowed. So is the user agents that visited the site, where they're from, all that kind of information. And obviously if they're blocked, it would show that they're blocked. Login requests. Insufficient data for login requests. Probably only one login's been done. That was me today. So there's not enough data for that. But this would show how many login attempts there are, how many are blocked, how many are failed. And you can see, for example, if someone's trying to brute force your login page, then you can block those individuals. Admin logins shows how many admins have logged into the site. Bots lists the bots that come to your site. These are just bots from the MalCare team. If this was a live site, you'd see Google bots, Microsoft, Yahoo, Bing, who else? All the SEO tools have their own bots. You'd see all those things in here, and also hackers have bots. You see those listed here as well. They wouldn't be called things like HackerBot1. They'd be more disguised, so you wouldn't be able to tell it's a hacker bot, but hackers do use bots. And the blacklist here, blacklist status on Google, we are currently safe. If we were not safe, it would indicate that, and we'd have to go and fix that. Head back out here. The plugins card. This page shows us all the plugins on the site. The ones with the lightning bolt crossed out are inactive. The ones with the green lightning bolt are active. Shows us the versions. So these ones are up to date with the gray version numbers. And then these ones that have a version number with an arrow pointing to a different version number, those ones are outdated, and it shows what the version numbers are. You cannot update them here. You have to log into your site to update them. But you can install plugins. If you click on install plugin here, we see the good old WordPress repository. We can search for plugins and install them directly through the MalCare dashboard. Let's head back to our main dashboard. Next card is the staging site. These are great for when you're doing changes to your site, but you don't want to do them on the live site, which is usually not recommended because you don't know what kind of side effects your changes will have. So I always want to add a staging site by clicking on Add Staging Site. On this page, you can choose which version of the site you want to use for the staging. So it takes a backup version. So you can just click on the backup you want, PHP version you want, and then click on Submit at the bottom of the page. And then it creates the staging site for us. Then we can log into that staging site, make any changes we need. Then once we're done with the changes and we like them on the staging site, we can then overwrite the main site so that we have our changes live. Just going to fast forward while it does this installation. Staging site successfully created. Let's click on Visit Staging Site. Enter the username and password that presented to us here. Username is Blog Vault. Password is this guy here. Sign in. And now we have our staging site, which looks exactly like the main site. The main site is in this tab right here. And it should, because we used the most recent backup. If you do the staging site with a much older backup, your site might actually look different on the staging site than the main site. So usually, not always, but usually you want to create the staging site with the most recent backup so you have the most recent version of your site. Let's head back into the dashboard. We can delete staging just by clicking here. Let's switch to site details, which is right here. And here we have data about our staging site. It expires in 27 days. If we click on here, we see more information about it. Merge to source is what brings the staging site back to live. So you make changes on the staging site like I was saying earlier, click on this button when you're done, and then overwrites your live site. This is a scary button. If you're not done and you're not happy with your changes, do not click this button because your live site will be overwritten. But if that happens, we have the ability to restore our site. Like we saw earlier, inside the backups card, we have our restore site button. We click on that, we fill in the details, and we can restore our site. That becomes very important when stuff goes sideways. Backups are key. Backups are one of the most incredible things if you have a lot of backups and you do it properly. Let's go to the Performance tab. This shows performance on the page speed score, why slow score, shows us a little waterfall timeline, what's blocking our page speed, what's slowing us down, why slow recommendations, page speed recommendations. You've seen all kinds of videos about this probably on this channel anyway, if you're watching my channel. And you know how to address a lot of these issues already, but this doesn't really help you address the issues, just shows everything in a nice, concise dashboard. We have themes. This is very similar to the plugins where it shows us active and inactive themes. We cannot update them here, but we go to install themes and we can install new ones through here. We have Uptime Monitoring right here. You can't click into this one. There's no data besides what you see here. It's pretty straightforward. You have either up or not up. So up is what you want. And for this site, uptime in the last 7 days has been 100%, which is what you want. It's hosted on Cloudways in case you have a host that does not have 100% uptime. Cloudways is a great host. And their uptime for this site is 100%. So that's great. Reporting. This is awesome when you have clients. You can create, customize, and schedule reports that are sent out to your clients that include or can include whatever data you decide to include from the dashboard for each individual client site. So if you have clients that pay you monthly for this kind of managed hosting service, you can easily send out automated reports that shows your value to them. And down at the very bottom, we have a list of users on the site. If we click on there, it shows our users listed out. Pretty straightforward. And the very last important thing, you can turn a number of these options on or off by clicking on the toggle button. Backups are now off. Backups are on again. That's how easy it is. Uptime monitoring is off. Now it's on again. Why you want to turn them off, I'm not sure. I think most of these would stay on all the time. But just in case you do want to turn them off, that is how you can do it. So as I'm sure you've seen, there's a lot of information in here. It pulls a lot of different data sources into one easy, concise dashboard, and it's really user-friendly. And a backup just happened. We went from 23 to 24 as I was talking just now. And it's beautiful because we didn't do anything. It just happened. That's the beauty of scheduled backups. So if you've not checked out MalCare yet, head over to malcare.com. You can do a scan for free right here if you think there might be an issue, or if you want to make sure there are no issues and you're protected, head over to the pricing tab. Check out their pricing plans. They're quite reasonable. For one site, it's $100 a year. That's about $850 a month. That includes nearly all the things I just showed you. One thing it doesn't include is client reports, because there's only one site, so you probably don't have clients in there. Or maybe you do and it's just that one client, I'm not sure. But client reports become available on the agency plan. The biggest difference between personal, small business, and developers is just the number of websites. Developers gives you one additional user, one additional team member, but mostly it's the websites that you're allowed to host on there. That is the big difference between those three. Then the agency unlocks all of the options, most notably client reports and white label, so it makes it look like it's your company doing the work, not MalCare. So if you find this kind of service interesting, I recommend you check them out because they are a great service and they work really well. So that's how MalCare can clean up malware on your website and provide you a lot of concise data inside a nice little dashboard, which is super convenient. I use the service myself. If you like this kind of service, you should check it out. It's really good. If you haven't done so yet, make sure to click subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. And then check out this video up here, which shows you the top 10 mistakes, security mistakes I see over and over and over on WordPress sites. And after that, check out this video down here, which shows you how to use WP Rocket to make your site lightning fast. My name is Bjorn Allpass from WP Learning Lab. Until next time, keep crushing it, and I will see you in the next video.